Hey everyone, it is Brian Koz here, joined by my friend and business partner, Shawn Casey. We'll get this going in just a few seconds right here. As always, if you have any questions or anything throughout this call, feel free to type that into the little chat box. And we'll have plenty of time for Q&A, and on this call right here, we'll actually do lots of hands-on stuff too. So we'll do some live website analyses and stuff like that. So before we get to that point, though, if you have a website that you'd like us to basically analyze, if you want to type that into the Q&A box along with like one or two of the main keywords that you're trying to basically rank for, because we obviously wouldn't know unless you post up the link as well as give us an idea. So if you could post up a link, a couple keywords that are basically relevant to that, as well as maybe like a quick sentence on what your business is. Like if you sell, custom furniture, just say, hey, this is a website that sells, custom furniture. If you just do affiliate reviews, say you do affiliate reviews on such and such. Just a brief idea, so we know, and we'll pick a couple examples there and do that live in just a bit. So, all right, without further ado, we can get the show on the road. So once again, welcome to another Webfire Wednesday webinar. On this one right here, we'll be basically reviewing some stuff from last week. I'll show off a quick site example that I made literally in like maybe less than like a half hour. That's including writing all the content and all that right there. So I'll give you like a basic idea of the steps that I basically took and all that good stuff right there. I'll show off that, talk a bit about that, and then we'll move on to some website analysis where, again, if you'd like to have yours analyzed, we probably can't get to everyone because I'm sure a bunch of you want that done, but we'll pick maybe two or so, maybe three if there's time, but probably two, where you just, again, type in the URL of the site, type in a couple keywords that are relevant to your site, and maybe a quick sentence or two on what your site's on, and we'll pick a couple of those, and then we'll have plenty of time for a Q&A, and of course after that, the cash giveaway as well. So, again, all these Webfire Wednesday calls, they are every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll host a live training and or Q&A call for Webfire members. These trainings will either feature myself, Brian Koz, Shawn Casey, both of us at once, or occasionally a featured special guest if we think that their expertise would be of value to our members. And on that note, too, in the next month or so, we actually, for the past while, it's been almost exclusively myself and Shawn. We've had maybe one or two guests, in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or so. But in the next month, we'll actually have a couple of guests, some pretty exciting stuff and whatnot, so look out for the announcements on that. But again, it'll just be on our normal Wednesday calls right here, so we'll have some pretty cool stuff to share with you that we thought would be worthwhile and would also work well with Webfire and everything that we teach as well. So if you're here or registered for this series, you'll get a reminder each week so you don't forget. But if you can't make one, we'll also have the recordings in the members area, usually within a day of any of the calls, and they'll be up in the training tab on the left side navigation bar, and specifically if you click on training, you'll see another tab called Wednesday webinars. If you click that, you'll see all the calls listed by their topic and such, and they're also listed by the date as well right there. You can use these calls as an opportunity to get even more training, ask strategy type questions, get feedback, or make suggestions on what else you'd like to see or be trained on or hear about. And as a special note, as always, make sure to check out our prior Webfire Wednesday webinars and our Webfire trainings, as there's tons of info already there on a lot of what you're already asking for more training on. So there's a lot of you that say, hey, can you do a training on this or a training on that? And a lot of what you guys are asking for has already been covered extensively. And even though we reiterate a lot of stuff throughout all these calls, especially the important stuff, make sure that you don't just wait for your topic of choosing to pop up on a call. I mean, feel free to check the past trainings, because chances are 99% of the time, we've probably done an entire training on just that. And of course, we'll talk briefly about the Webfire member rules to success. Number 1, follow the steps in the trainings that we have. Don't try to skip that or anything like that. Number 2, don't give up. Seek help when needed, but don't get too dependent. And I've seen this a lot, guys. And it kind of goes both ways. Again, there's those of you that the second you get stuck on anything, you basically could give up. And then there's those that get too dependent where, if a quick Google search will basically answer their question in like seconds, they won't even bother to do that. They'll just, ask support and all that. And it's like, again, if you can do a Google search and find an answer in seconds, do that. Because in the end, in the business world, that will save you a ton of time, and it will make you, continuing to move forward faster and make progress, which is what we want right there. And number 3, no whining or negative attitudes, because this is the quickest way to fail. There's sometimes guys that will try to look for the negatives or the downsides in almost anything, and if you're like that, it's very hard to move forward on that. So again, try not to be like that. So last week we talked about mini sites, and of course I won't sum up everything from last week because you can watch last week's call, but in summary, the basic idea was that you essentially use the keyword tool we have inside of Webfire and try to find like little sub niches or other keywords that aren't nearly as competitive but still get a decent amount of traffic or good quality traffic, and then try to create a site specifically around a few of those keywords. And I talked about how you could pick maybe like 5 or so related keywords and turn that into a site. Now, I'm not saying you have to have exactly a 5-page site. There's people that have a 1-page site, there's people that have a 20-page site, a 100-page site. I just think 5 is like a good number to basically shoot for initially. Of course, I'm not saying you have to do that all at once. I actually made a quick example prior to this call where I made a site in about a half-hour time, used the exact same technique that I showed you. In this case, I just made like a 1 long page site, but I can add additional pages or blog posts to it very, very easily, which I would recommend, again, to start out around 5 or so. But I'll show off that in just a second right there. So again, you do the keyword research, you pick some keywords, and then if you don't have a site yet, I recommend looking for a domain name with our keyword domain tool and try to find a good keyword that has at least a decent amount of searches and is available, especially a .com, and then you snatch up that, and that gives you even more of a chance of ranking, and then you make some blog posts on it. And I'll just show off exactly what I did in a second here. So I'll just pause the screen, and keep in mind, this isn't like a pro version or anything. This is one I didn't want to show you guys what like a pro site looks like if you spend a lot more time on it, because I know a lot of you want to see like the quick and easy way. So that's exactly what I did right here. So I'll show you what you can do in a half hour, which is pretty good. If you spend maybe another half hour or so, you can touch it up even more and do a bit more work and whatnot, but I'll just pause it for a second. And we'll go to the browser. All right, so here's the browser right here, and again, we're inside of Webfire, and last week we showed off how you could look for massage chairs. So what, again, you could do under the keyword tools, you could go to the keyword tool right here, type in a term like massage chair or massage chairs or massage chair reviews or some term like that. We'll find 50 related keywords, and we picked 5 or so last week to start with. There's probably like 20 last week that I thought were pretty good, but we said, hey, these are 5 that we can basically start with, and then you'd go to the keyword domain tool. And you type in the same term, you look for available domain names, preferably without dashes, preferably .coms. With dashes is okay. Even .net and .org is okay, but .coms are a preference. I'll just click later on this update, and then after that, you'd go and make your site, and it doesn't matter if you make a WordPress site or a Blogger site or an HTML site. One of the easiest things to start with, I think, is a Blogger site. If you're brand new, that's just blogger.com, blogger.com, because you can make a site literally in minutes. Like I made this literally in a couple minutes time, except for writing the actual content. That basically took me like maybe 20 minutes or so. But in total, everything was done in under a half hour, including the writing the content. And you get a basic site like this. Now keep in mind, I didn't add any graphics. I didn't do anything fancy at all. But you'll see a few key things. Now in this case, I actually reserved the domain topratedmassagechairs.com, but it takes a while to propagate basically. So that won't actually show up for probably like another day or so. So in the meantime, it's just a sub-domain name. But I picked a .com off that I snatched up and I bought through Google for $12 a year. Again, if you got it through like a normal host, I know you can get .coms for like, $7 to $10, but again, through Google it's 12. That's not a bad deal right here. And then I wrote a blog post. Now, the key with this is the search term that I saw that got a decent amount of searches, not like thousands upon thousands upon thousands, but it got enough where anyone that was looking for that term, which was right there, top-rated massage chairs, anyone looking for that term is probably interested in what? Probably buying a massage chair, right? I mean, you don't look for top-rated massage chairs unless you're looking to buy one. So I not only named the website after that, I also had the .com after that, and again, that will show up within a day or so. And I also made sure that the keyword I was trying to target was in the first blog post. Now, this is just essentially a one-page site. I'll add additional pages, and the next time I'll show it off to you guys. I'll show off some more pages as well to give you more of an idea. But in this case, the keyword I was trying to target was top-rated massage chairs. But I want to have the headline, or basically the title tag, be appealing as well. And in that case, I wanted the the question of what are the top-rated massage chairs is a much more appealing title. This is a question, and it also gives us a chance to rank not only for top-rated massage chairs, but also for the question itself, what are the top-rated massage chairs? So in anywhere from a few days to, a week or two, we can see that we'll have a good chance of actually ranking for some of those terms there, especially if we do some additional work like getting backlinks and submitting the site, all that stuff I haven't done yet, but we can show that off later on in one of the future calls. Now, what I did in this review right here is I actually did a few things. So instead of writing a review on a single massage chair, which I'll show off at a future point, if you write a single massage chair review, you'd want the name of the massage chair up here in the title. Like, in this case, if the name was, Titan TI 7700R, you'd say, Titan TI 7700R massage chair review, or some term like that, because we're more likely to rank for that. But what I did right here is I wrote a quick summary, essentially, up here, and then I said, hey, since someone who's searching for, what are the top-rated massage chairs, my logic says there's probably really three kinds of people, okay? There's those looking for, like, the cheapest good option. There's those looking for, like, what I call the best bang for your buck. And there's those looking for the top-of-the-line ones. And because if someone searches for top-rated massage chairs, we don't really know if they're looking for, like, the real high-end one, like the top-rated one, or, like, the cheaper one that's top. So what I did, knowing that, I broke it down where I kind of wrote a review about kind of what I thought the top three was. The first one was basically the best cheap massage chair, so I talked a bit about that, all that does right there, why it's neat, and why it's cheaper than some of the cheap ones, but also pretty good at the same time. I also gave a link where they could click and go and actually buy that. And then for category 2, I said the best bang for your buck massage chair, and this is like the one where you're not spending a fortune, but it's also not the cheapest one, and it's the best quality one for the price without spending basically a fortune. So a lot of people would probably be geared towards that. And the third one, which of course is the one I would love to get guys to buy, is the best of the best massage chair. Those are guys where price isn't really a factor, but they just want the best of the best ones out there, and that's what I have right here. Now, in cases like this, if anyone buys through that link, I have a chance of making anywhere from, again, it can range from a few $100 up to well over $1,000 per sale right there. And again, this took me about a half hour to actually write that. And again, I just wrote a bit about each chair right here, gave a link to where they could get basically the cheapest price I found on that, which in this case, you can make this your affiliate link or link to your own site or basically anything you want right there. And then you write a summary that kind of sums up what they should do and all that right there. So that's really all you have to basically do. Now, if you were writing it specifically on just one massage chair, again, you'd want to have the name and the name like such and such massage chair review up here instead. Then you'd want to again have a summary at the start that talks a bit about what the chair is, and then you'd have the pros and cons list basically as bullet points. And then you'd have a conclusion at the end like this right here, followed by a call to action, which is basically click here to buy. So in this case, I did a little bit different of a review just to give you another picture of it. But again, the key is to any term you're trying to rank for, try to think of what the user wants to see. So in this case, if the term is top rated massage chairs, you really don't know if they want the cheapest one or the most expensive one that's good. We're hoping that they want the best of the best one, but that's why I broke it down into 3, because I'm trying to think of what does the user want to basically see, and then give them exactly what they want. So on future calls, I can refer back to this as an example site. I can make some additional posts to it, and I can do some work on it, so you can kind of see everything that would go into this right here. But I just want to show off how, again, I did this in like a half-hour time, and again, you could research that and do this for basically almost any product that you want, or even a product that you have around the house, or a product that you review online, or anything like that there. And these are cool in that this probably won't make me a lot of money the very next day, probably won't make a single sale the next day, but once it gets ranked and all that, if that makes even, let's say, even one sale a year, that'd be awesome, because again, it took me a half hour to basically do this right here. If I did some additional work, let's say I put let's say an hour into it, found some posts, did some posts out there, try to drive some traffic to it and all that, it's still, that would only be an extra hour or 2 of work right there. And if it made just one sale, that'd be, again, hundreds, even thousands, or even 1,000 plus right there for one sale. If I get one of those a year, I'm happy, because that's, again, not that much time right there. If I get a few of those a year, I'd be ecstatic about that. And again, as you build these up, whether it's through your own products or services or affiliate links or anything like that, you'll realize that you don't need thousands and thousands and thousands of hits every day or anything like that to kind of build that up. This is all stuff that, again, Webfire can help you basically research, search, and find the best of the keywords to basically go for and all that. So that was that part, guys. And now what we'll do on this next part, I thought, well, first, let's see if there's any questions on that part. Then we'll go into the website analyses.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
The biggest question that came up with regarding to that, well, actually, there's 3 of them. So one is, somebody wanted to know how do you become an affiliate for massage chairs? And the answer to how do you become an affiliate for anything, guys, that you're not sure what to be an affiliate for is, go to Google and search massage chairs affiliate programs, golf affiliate programs, furniture affiliate programs. I mean, there's 1,000,001 affiliate programs out there. All you got to do is just go search the keyword and what you want it to be.
Literally, as Shawn said, you basically type in the keyword, in this case, massage chair, followed by a term like affiliate or affiliate program or anything like that, and you'll find some. You can also just be an affiliate for Amazon, and there's some chairs on there too. They might pay a bit less than some of the private affiliate programs, but again, a quick search can do that right there. If you want to make a bit more, it takes a little more work in this next part, but if you don't find any affiliate programs, you can also do a search for, like the term followed by, drop shipping or anything like that, where you can have them buy directly through you and then just drop ship it. But the easiest thing to start for right now would probably just be being an affiliate. But again, don't overthink that, because again, Google is your friend here, and you can find the answer to all that within like a second. You said, Shawn, there were like 2 or 3 questions.
So that's question number 1. Question number 2, Marion asks, do the less liked domain names rank okay if your main words are few and often searched? That is, how do I compare whether it's better to have a good name and a not so good .com name such as XYZ, or it's better to have a long domain name and a .com or .org or .net?
So you're overthinking a little bit. So I mean, don't feel like if you have an existing site and you're trying to rank for some additional terms, like let's say you have a review site, okay, and you're trying to rank for some you know, massage chair or some TV or a desk or any product like that. You can write a review and you don't have to have a keyword-rich domain name. But let's say that you're like, gee, I really like this massage chair market, or gee, I really like the standing desk market, or I really like whatever market you can think of, and you want to make like a small custom site on it. In that case, having a keyword-rich domain as well as relevant content can help you a lot. And I try to shoot for, for a keyword domain, try to shoot for like no more than like 3 to 4 words in the domain. If you have like a really long one where it's like, like 10 words long, Google, I think, catches on to that stuff more. But if it's like, 2 to 4 words, that's okay right there as long as it's relevant and makes sense there. I prefer .coms without dashes first. That's my preference. That's what I've seen tend to rank a little bit more. Now, if it's a really good term, like if it's like, weight loss and it's like weight-loss.com, by all means, snatch that up. Because I'm not saying that you can't have one without a dash. I just give a slight preference to one without a dash and a .com. After .com, .orgs and .nets are also pretty good too. The one thing that I don't like, that a lot of people do, and even though I say this over and over again, I hate .infos. And I know people love them because oftentimes there's places that sell them for like, the first year for $1. So they're like, man, I'll save $5 or $6 here and I'll get this .info. Well, it does two things. One, I tend to see that a lot of those are a bit harder to rank. Doesn't mean you can't rank. It's just, you make it harder and you're saving $5 or $6 to make your life harder. Doesn't make sense. And the second thing is, if you have a .info name, what does your mindset say? Like, imagine that Shawn and I, were selling you Webfire, and we said go to webfire.info. Okay, all of you would think, man, that's super cheap. These guys don't know what they're doing, and these guys are idiots. A lot of you will have that mindset because you think the .info just looks cheap, whereas the .com looks much, much better. So it kind of the perceived value and the perceived quality of your site, I think, makes a major difference with that. So hopefully that answers your question right there. And what was the third one, Shawn?
Wait, there was another question? Sorry, no, I'm just being funny. The last question was, until people typed in 27 more, was, where is the content of your review taken from? Is it original content or taken from existing reviews?
This one I actually wrote myself, but on that same note, you could do a quick Google search for like, massage chair reviews and, spend maybe like 20 minutes just, reading up on some stuff, and you can have a pretty good idea of what people are talking about. And then what you can do is, you can say that you're writing a review based upon all the reviews that you read out there, which is really cool because you're not necessarily saying that you reviewed it all yourself. You're not saying you have the massage chair, but you're saying, hey, this is a summary of all the reviews out there, of all the pros and cons that people say about this chair, or that people say about this or that. So again, don't overthink that either, but the absolute key is, the most important thing, is give people relevant content to what you're trying to rank for. Give them what they want. If you try to make a shortcut, if you try to just have like a paragraph or two and nothing else and you don't give any value in the post, people skip past you. They won't click your link. They won't trust that. So again, give value first and foremost. It doesn't have to take long, but there's a handful of people that tend to try to find these shortcuts to like save like a few minutes of time, but potentially lose thousands of dollars, which again to me doesn't make much sense. So again, don't be lazy when it comes to this stuff right here. And again, it's not like you have to do hours and hours of work. I literally wrote this in 20 minutes, maybe, and I made the whole site in like half-hour tops, including the content. If I had to do research and all that from scratch too, maybe add like a half hour on top of that. So this is the kind of thing that you could do in like an hour's time. If I basically added like, a few more pages of content, like let's say I had a different blog post for each of the massage chairs because I have 3 mentioned right here. If I had a different review for each one, I mean, maybe in total it'd take me an extra 1 to 2 hours, but again, we're talking on the tops maybe a few hours to make a fairly simple 5-page site, and that's on the high end. And I could also right here, like to make this nicer, I'd probably also add a graphic of each chair right there. That's very easy inside a Blogger. You just click essentially the graphic button and you can add that in right there. And then you can also optimize the graphic based on the keywords. So I will do that for next time right there. But again, it takes like a minute to basically do. And again, super, super, super easy and can make the site look even nicer. And that's one thing too that, again, you can grab that from just about anywhere right there. And a lot of sites, if you're an affiliate, they allow you to use the graphics and the images. So you just have to ask for that right there. So, all right, let's see what other questions there are.
Well, there's a lot of questions because they type them faster than you can talk. Not that you don't talk fast enough, Brian. I'm not saying that, but
yeah.
but there are a lot of stuff. But I think I got everybody else. So if we're going to analyze a site, let's go do it. So I'll let you pick from all the people that have sites if you want, or I can shortcut this for you.
And yeah, so there's a couple people that ask, what about this kind of domain or that kind again? .com first and foremost without the dashes. There's a very good keyword, with the dashes is okay. Then .net and .orgs. If you're trying to rank for like a local term, like in the UK or Australia or New Zealand, you can do like I think like .co.uk or .com.au or stuff like that. But that's more like for a local term. That's fine. Globally, you might not rank well for that. But again, keep that in mind. There's a couple of you saying, can I use .healthcare or .mobi or whatever? Again, it's not saying you can't, but from my experience, they tend to prefer the .coms. It's not to say ditch everything that you've done so far and switch, but again, just keep that in mind. But especially try to stay away from the .infos. I'm not saying that you can't rank, but again, just keep that in mind right there. All right, as far as we'll move on to the website analysis now, and we'll save some questions at the end. All right, this person said, what's the site that you can go to get more info on ClickBank products? ClickBank.com. Just click on the marketplace in there, and you can search for all the products there. All right. Let's see what the sites are. All right, so looks like the websites we have, I'll just list off a few. We have colon pills. We have home goods. We have store that sells some leader training. We have internet marketing one. We have a generational book, closing cost discounts, solutions to constipation, green tea, herbal black tea. All right, so lots of different ones. Shawn, I'll let you maybe pick like 1 or 2 to start with, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So so here's the question, Brian. Do you want to do a local business site or a more general national, international site?
Let's do maybe one of each. I saw that there was a house painter one.
Well, okay. So Martin asked if we would review a site for a client of his, and Bruce asked if we would review his actual tea company site, where he has a local business selling tea.
Okay. So tea versus contractor. Should we let the people decide?
Not if it's going to take half an hour.
All right. Let's start
with...
The
first vote was for tea. The second vote was for tea.
All right.
And so are the next 5 votes.
Interesting. Okay. So what was that site offhand, Sean?
Russian River Tea co.com.
Russian River Tea.
TEACO.com.
TCO.com.
Yeah. And Lord willing, there we go, the Russian River Tea Company.
All right. And first, whoever that is.
So this is Bruce's site.
All right.
I actually entered these into a document so I could tell them apart.
All right. Let's see what he says right here.
And you guys think I don't do any work.
All right. So it looks like this. He says it's a brick and mortar retail store selling loose tea and accessories. So Bruce, my question to you as we look at the site are first, what kind of keywords are you trying to rank for? Is this just like a local business because you say it's a retail store? So is it just local? Do you sell online, or do you not sell much online? You're mostly, just local based. And then, who's your ideal client? Are they guys that just buy like, stuff for home, or is it like a restaurant that buys in bulk? Or, like what exactly is your ideal client right there? So you could just take a minute and write up that, Bruce, right there. And maybe like what keywords are you trying to basically rank for? So he says local, but we sell online. We specialize in custom blends. So right here, we could run the site through Webfire, which we can do in a minute right here. But the title tag you have, basically it looks like it just says Gourmet Tea, Healdsburg, CA. So I mean, if you're trying to rank for like Gourmet Tea in Healdsburg, CA, that's you probably have a decent chance of that, right there. In fact, let's just type that in right there. We'll do Gourmet Tea, Healdsburg, CA. And there you are, right there. So
schema, think schema. Sorry, just a random thought.
Yeah, so right there, it looks like that's probably you on the right side. So it looks like you either have like a basics schema right there, or they pulled that from like the business listing of yours, because they sometimes do just that. But I would also make sure to add a schema here. There's multiple different kinds of schemas, and you can have more than one on your site. Like if we look at right here, let's do tennis shop, Madison, Wisconsin. So right here, you see this is a local client too. You see, like you, he has the same thing right there as what you have right there, except he also has like a bit more stuff on his, but he also has a schema used right here on his site, which lists all his separate pages on his site. So you can do that same thing to basically take up more space and real estate and all that stuff right there. The other thing you might want to do as well is on your site, kind of go through and think like, what other pages do you want to essentially, rank for? Like right here, let's go to herbals. So right here, you're trying to rank for Robos Tea, or Healdsburg, California, right there. So if you're trying to rank on a global basis, because you're saying you're trying to sell some online, you want to also try to consider either having like a separate part that's specifically just for online, because like right now it says, in the title tag, Robos Tea, Healdsburg, CA, which you can see up here, which you got to ask yourself, how many people locally are searching for that exact kind of tea? We'd have to check, but my guess is not really a ton of that. So like if you're trying to sell on a national scale or a global scale, you might want to consider having individual pages for each of these right here. And on top of that, it's confusing because right here I clicked on herbals, and yet your title tag is Robos Tea. The first thing that you list is rooibos and honeybush, but you list a bunch of other stuff. So it's kind of like saying, you want a title, or it's kind of like saying you have a title of, chicken, but then you open the book and it has, stuff on chicken, cows, sheep, and turkeys and everything else. So it doesn't quite fully make sense right there. So you might want to change around the title tag right there. All right, let's just click on one of these. Click on Dreamy Apricot. All right, and right here again, it's not horrible, but one thing that I would definitely do, which would help you also rank a bit more, under each of the products you have a bit, maybe have like a brief description right here. You have it basically in the image a bit, which is, I can read it. It's a bit hard to read, but Google can't really see that necessarily all that well. Or I shouldn't say they can't see it. They for sure can't actually read the actual image that you have. So if you put some like content right here that talks a bit about what Dreamy Apricot is, you'll have a higher chance of basically ranking for that right there. And of course, you can also talk about what the size is and all that right there, and maybe also equate it to like how many cups of tea that makes. Because like right here, it looks like you say it's 30 grams. I'm not sure if you mean that the whole thing is it actually looks like 50 grams actually. I'm not sure if you're saying the whole bag is that, or per servings that, or what, and I have no clue what the size of that is. And I also have no clue how much tea that makes. So just like simple stuff like that, which clarifies it a bit more and gives more content. And the same note too, I'd also add a note of why they should buy through you. I mean, you say it's custom blends and all that, and that's what you're basically known for, but there's really nothing on the site here that really talks about that. So, I mean, a normal guy might think, okay, well, I might be able to buy this anywhere. This doesn't look necessarily custom. They don't really know on that. So from like a marketing point of view, you don't really talk about anything custom. I mean, it's possible you say it somewhere down here, but no one actually reads all that. Yeah, so I'd add that. And another thing that you could do too is make sure that the actual images on your site, make sure that those are, oh, that's weird. Looks like it has like a double forward right there. Just going to see if that was an error or not. So yeah, it looked like when I went to Verbals, that's just a minor thing to fix, possibly. Let's see if that's, I click on home. Yeah, it showed up 2 slashes there, but not a huge deal. The other thing, make sure that any actual images on your site, that you have basically proper keyword tags and stuff on them. And what I'll do is we'll run a website analysis, but the question I have for you is what exactly are you looking to do? Are you looking to rank for more terms? Like you didn't really say what your goal is here, because you rank for the basic term that's in your title tag, which is a good start. But we really would have to know what your goal is. And as I do a website analysis, I will see if you answered that. All right. Let's see what you said. All right, so Bruce said, we do about $1,000 a month online. Okay, but yeah, so of that, I would try to make like maybe a separate page for each of the custom tea blends that you have, and try to specifically rank for all those terms right there. Like a few things that you can do off that is, first, let's do, for that, it looks like what you're trying to basically target is gourmet tea. If that's the main key, or gourmet tea, in this case, you're really going for Hellsberg CA. But I would also try to consider what you really want to try to rank for and what people actually search for. I'd also go to like the main keyword tool right here, and here as it searches for that, I have a bunch of windows open all at once there. As it searches for that, we go to the main keyword tool right here, and you can enter like multiple different terms and stuff, but I'll just do a few different ones here. I'll do gourmet tea. We'll do custom blend tea. We'll do. I'll just pick a random one just to see. I obviously wouldn't have time to type in all of these. We'll do maybe. I'll assume. Go back to the dreamy apricot one. So I'm not sure if this is like just a name that you made up, or if it's like a certain kind, But let's do Rubio's tea right there, ROBIOS. All right, we'll do that. Rubio's tea. And in this case, notice how normally you'd basically enter one keyword and find 50 related ones, but just because I want to look up just these 3, I just click this right there, and it looks up just the ones that you basically typed in. And then I'll click search, and it'll take a little bit to search that. But right here on your site, right here is one where, in this case, it's not horrible because in this case, you have a slash in there. I would get rid of the slash. Or say like, in Helzberg CA, slash was like basically an old thing that worked a long time back to separate keywords and all, but again, not a huge deal right there. You don't have the keywords in your meta tag. You also don't have the keywords that you're trying to rank for in your description. You don't have a bad one. It just says, call us, blah, blah, to learn more. But the number and all that right there, you can actually have show up in your schema. So if you list all that info in your schema, if you go to the schema tool up here, you can actually enter in your number, you can enter your hours, you can enter all that crap right there and have it show up so you don't have to waste a tag on that. And on top of that, you have 23 images on your site without an alt tag. So that basically means you don't have any tags on your site. So all those pictures that you have of like teas and all that stuff right there, you actually don't have anything mentioned there. So like right here, all these right there, most of these are missing. Here's one you have right here. It's named Logo, Russian River Tea Company, Herbal Tea. You have some of these are listed okay, but you have a lot that are completely missing. So this is missing, 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 and you have a bunch that are kind of blank and small missing. So again, easy stuff to essentially fix up right there. With the SEO Inferno tool, we also have inside of that we have a tool to quickly fix all that stuff right there. So that's not too tough right there. And the schema, you don't actually have one, so it would be very easy for you to add one, and that will help you get some additional rankings and stuff there. The other thing that I'd consider if I were you, let's see if this search is done here. Yeah. So right here, this is actually pretty good right here. So right here, for these terms right here, these are like wide open. So for Rubio's tea, and again, I don't know, I assume that's a kind of tea, that's not just like a name that you made up. If that's a kind of tea, well, I'm guessing I actually would be because there's actually people that search for that. Right here, there's 1,300 people a month that are searching for that specific kind of tea, and there's 0 sites trying to compete over that term right there. Whereas, up here, there's, only 30 searches for custom blend tea, I'm sure custom tea blend might be a different amount right there. So not really a ton, but wide open. So I would make like a separate page where you maybe have a title of like Rubio's tea, or like best Rubio's tea dash wholesale prices, or some term like that where it's trying to rank on like a global scale instead of just on like a local one, because you'll find that will help probably a lot more with that right there. So maybe if you take the time to basically type in all the different kinds of teas that you're trying to basically like rank for, pick like the best ones in terms of like the search volume and how easy it would be to rank for those terms right there, and then make sure that when you click on that specific kind of tea right here, like Rubio's tea, make sure that you optimize that for that term right there, and maybe actually have some content on it too as well to actually give it a chance to actually rank, because like most guys, if you just have even like a few sentences of content or like a paragraph of content, maybe talking about the different kinds of Rubio's tea and how you have all that, like saying that, hey, if you're looking for more of like, a sweet taste, go for this or that. If you're looking for more of this, go for this or that. I mean, right here, your site is basically, it's designed for people that seem to know what they want and don't have to have any info on it and know about you, which is fine if all your clients know about you. But if you're really trying to find guys that don't know about you and don't necessarily know what's what, that's the best way to search right there. The other thing that you can do as well, which I would also look for, is I would use the keyword tool and just type in terms like tea, and then just do this search right here just with like one, and then just see like what type of keywords are basically out there, what people are basically asking. I would also do like, I'd search the Q&A answer question tool under leads right here, and also search for like tea there and see what people are basically talking about. See if there's guys saying, hey, is there any place to buy wholesale tea from? Is there any place that sells this or that? Because you'll find that you won't necessarily get tons of leads necessarily every day, but over time you'll get leads of guys asking questions on that stuff there. And like let's just do like a quick Q&A one. I'll just type in tea, what shows up. I mean, there might be some bunch of odd stuff, but this is the Q&A tool. You could also use it on the real-time lead finder or the rank lead finder or anything like that. All right. All right, this person's basically talking about some diet pills or herbal teas right there. All right, so this person right here wants to make herbal natural tea from chamomile. Again, I don't know what that is right there. You might know. But,
chamomile, Brian. Chamomile. Even in Wisconsin.
What is that?
It's an herb.
Okay. So with that, if you sell like some kind of tea blend that this guy would essentially look for, you can jump on that, basically answer that. You can also do like just even like a random question like this right here. Even though it has nothing to do with your store per se, you can answer this guy and say, yay or nay, green tea is great. Before sleeping, I'm the store owner of this site right here. We sell tons and tons of green tea, and maybe there's a certain type that's better or worse there that you could say, and you could kind of gear them towards that. Now you won't necessarily get like tons and tons of traffic overnight from that, but over time it adds up, because if anyone else searches for that phrase, can I drink green tea before sleeping or any term like that, chances are that question will show up along with your answer, in Google and Yahoo and stuff, and over time you'll get additional traffic flowing into your site through that, and your rankings can also go up as well. So I would definitely try to spend some time on that right there. I would also, again, use the other tools like the rank lead finder and the real-time lead see what's out there for tea type terms, and try to customize the title tags for all the different kinds of teas that you're trying to rank for, and try to get away from just like local terms if you're trying to sell online. So it sounds like you're already doing 1,000 a month online, which is great, but I think you could drastically improve that if you really try to target all those different teas and really try to add some additional content and stuff out there. I mean, Shawn, is there anything that you want to add in on that before we go on to the next one real quick?
Yes. The only thing I want to add is this. Whether it's this site or any of your sites, because I've looked at every site that everybody put in now, and I'm gonna do a lightning round, but when we're done, I'll just quick comments on some other sites. But the biggest thing is that Brian said this, but he didn't say it as succinctly as the lawyer is going to say it, which is you have to decide what you want to promote. Okay, and what you want to be on specific pages online. I know all of you are going to go, but I want everybody for everything at my site. But that's not the way the search engines work. They don't say, oh, everyone who types in tea, black tea, green tea, Rubio's tea, chamomile tea, okay, we're sending to this one single web page. It doesn't work that way, okay? Google looks at your site, it analyzes every page, and it analyzes specific pages to see if they're about specific things and whether or not that might be what a searcher would most benefit from seeing, okay? So if your site says black tea, okay, on a page and it looks like it's optimized for black tea, then Google is going to say what that's about and put it in their index and then decide how they're going to rank it in the search engine results, okay? Likewise, if it's black tea in a city in California or black tea in Duluth, Georgia, or whatever it is, that's what they're going to go and rank it for. So the more specific you are, for what you're trying to promote, the better off you're going to be. Some of you are showing me websites where literally like the home page doesn't have any identifying information. Okay, I mean, you're not helping yourself, or because you want to be everybody, and you can't be everybody. Okay, and you can get the most targeted traffic from going after specifically what it is you want. And as Brian was asking Bruce, like, are you primarily, at least initially, trying to get local people to drive to your store and buy stuff or have a cup of tea, or do you want to sell in e-commerce? And of course the answer is both, but those are two different objectives. They need two different sets of pages. They need two different target audiences, okay? And so it's not that you can't do everything, but you can't do everything on one page. You got to do everything on multiple pages separated out for specific things. Otherwise, you don't end up standing for anything and you can't rank for anything. Okay. Brian, next one we want to look at, unless you happen to have picked one out, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
So we're going to do the guy who typed his in first, which is we're going to do Jim's colon pills, because this is not going to be a long one from the standpoint of the home page. So JIMS colon pills with an S on the end, which is owned by, say it with me, not a guy named Jim. I'm serious. It's owned by Dale. See, you can't make this stuff up.
All right. I'd say first and foremost, there's nothing really, I mean, you just say shop right here. I mean, it's kind of like, it's a bad title because it tells them nothing about what the site's on. You have the title, Jim's colon pills, the natural North American herbal constipation solution right there. And you don't really talk a bit about, why this is an awesome pill or solution or basically anything. You basically list a bunch of stuff for sale and say, buy. Like right here, you say, dirty water warning, $3. Like, what the hell is that? Is it a guide on? I mean, there's no explanation at all. It's kind of like, imagine if you walked into a store and I just threw a bunch of products at you, took away the titles, took away the packages, you couldn't tell what's what, and said, buy. Why am I not making sales? That's why. So first, and and foremost, if you want to be a serious store, target, essentially the words better on your site. Maybe give like a lot more info here about, like what's unique about your solution, what's great about them, what the products below actually are. Like right here, again, I don't know what any of those are. So unless, and I'm guessing like you're trying to go, in this case, you're trying to find people that have a constipation problem. And most guys that have that problem won't necessarily know what, the probiotic Bacillus cuculans is, or whatever that means right there. So they probably won't be searching.
But Brian knows.
Yeah, so it's possible that someone is searching specifically for that, but my guess is a lot more are not. And right here you have like something in your store that's free, but don't list it in your store then. I mean, list it up here, say, hey, get like a free report on this or that. And the store, it kind of looks like a cheaply made site. Like it's all white. The title isn't even centered. It doesn't really look like a place I necessarily would want to buy from. And again, that's not to say it's bad. It's probably a fairly easy fix right there. So here's a 1 bottle colon cleanse 4. I don't know if you meant to say 4 as in F-O-R or F-O-U-R as in the number 4. But yeah, I'm not sure what that is right there. And again, there's just nothing really said about any of these. And if you're asking for a guy to plop down 117 bucks, I'm also not quite sure, like you say, 1 bottle right here is 117, 6 bottles is 153. You don't really do a good job of like saying like what is basically the difference between here. Like it's confusing. Like six bottles here is 148, but 6 bottles here is 153. They look identical to me, like 6 bottles colon cleanse pills, 100 capsules. I mean, like, what is the difference? Like, you're confusing the hell out of everyone here, basically. So, there's no way I'd buy from you, because like right now, even if I was interested in exactly what you had, I'd say, well, crap, I don't know what the difference between this and that is, and you're kind of scaring the guy off. And you have too many choices here, too. Like, they all look to be almost the exact same. Let's see what you have on page 2. So Jim, see again. I assume that's maybe for like an eyesight, but I'm not sure why you have basically an eyesight then on a colon pill site. It doesn't really make full sense. And here's like instant relief document for $7. Again, you don't even have like a graphic of it right here, so there's no graphic of a book or anything. And I have no idea why I'd want to just buy that. And I also have no idea what help request even means. So like all this stuff is like super confusing to me, and there's no way that probably anyone would buy through you. Now that's not to like rip on you or basically anything like that. It's just to give you honest feedback that I'd be shocked if you were making sales, just because it really needs to be cleaned up. Now, having said that, what you could do is, again, change the site around, pretty it up a bit, and have this be, if you're really wanting to focus on colon pills, sell, the colon pill set, the colon pill kit. Have it be 1 pill right here, like one option. If they pick that and you want to upsell them into like, a larger supply or anything like that, great, you can do so. But don't overcomplicate it with like 20 different choices where no one knows what any of the stuff means right there. Now, with that too, it looks like it looks like it says right here that the title tag is the Natural North American Herbal Constipation Solution. So what I would shoot for too is maybe try to target a term in your title tag like natural solution to constipation, or herbal remedies to constipation, or alternative medicine to, blah, 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 like some terms like that. And again, you could use the keyword tool inside of Google to basically help you identify what the most lucrative terms might be with that, then kind of try to gear your title tags for that. Let's see, your title tag is here. So again, right here, it's kind of like, you know, you really don't even say like what this is. So even if I click on this like product right here, you know, you say, we may substitute professional version. This is much safer bacteria than, you know, this, and that. But it's like, what is it? What does it do? Okay, it's safer than this, but what's the point of it? You know, less than right spin. I mean, I'm confused. And again, even right here, like, yeah. I mean, let me ask like an honest question. And this is just to give you like honest feedback right here. Does anyone on this call understand what exactly is being sold besides some kind of colon pill? Or specifically what any of these products actually do and help with? Everyone so far is saying no. And that's, you know, the feedback that you have right there is like no one really knows what your site's on right there. Yeah, so everyone's saying don't understand the site, confusing. I think there's one guy so far that said yes, he understands it, but they all say they either don't understand it, the site's a turn off. So again, pretty the site up first, give actual info on it. It looked like you just found some info and did like copy and paste. And like right here you say symptoms of liver overflow can include this, and that. But what does that have to do with this? Does this help with liver problems now, or what? Like you don't give a clear description of any of that right there. And right here in the title tag, you know, I like how you have the type of product, the name there, if that's, you know, the actual type of name right there. But on top of that, you know, maybe try to also go for some of the like alternative medicine or herbal remedies, or, you know, whatever that might be. Go for those terms as well. But definitely, before you even try to optimize your site for all that stuff right there, fix up your site, make it look much more pretty, and simplify it a ton as well at the same time, and make it far less confusing. So with that, Shawn, is there anything that you would want to add in or mention on top of that too?
No, I think you nailed it. Okay.
All right, guys. And with that, I think we're past the hour right here. We'll maybe do, we can do maybe, if there's a quick question or two, Shawn, if you see that, you can ask that. But in the meantime, guys.
There's no such thing as a quick question.
Yeah, that's true. But in the meantime, guys, if you want to take part in our cash giveaway, you can go to getwebfire.com/FB group. Again, that's getwebfire.com/FB group. Sharon did a post up on the Facebook page, and if you do a comment on that post right there, basically tell us what you thought of the training, we'll give $100 away to a random person in a few minutes right here. And as you guys do that, we can go back to answering some questions on that, or on this, or on anything else you want. Okay.
Okay, good, Brian. Well, they're doing that. Hang on, let me not break this. Sharon, can you post the URL up in the chat box if you didn't, please, for the Facebook page, because people missed the link there.
Oh yeah, and I'll actually, I have it in the PowerPoint. I'll pull that back up.
Okay. All right. Oh, it is there. So, see what I, okay, it just popped for me. Okay, there we go. All right, y'all can go join. Okay, so Brian, while you're doing that, let me try to not do anything really stupid here. Hang on a second. I'm going to grab the, if I could figure out where I am. Hang on. Okay. I'm going to do the lightning round. Come on, make me the
Again,
percent.
the
Thank you.
link is up on the site. Oh, did you switch the screen back to you or something?
Yeah, I stole it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hang on one second, guys. Hang on. I gotta close Gmail. Okay, good. Now you should see my screen. You should see my baby bib there. Okay. So I'm just going to do quick comments on a bunch of sites. So this is going to be really fast because we don't have time to analyze them all. It obviously takes a while. So this is a Shopify store site, if I remember right. I looked at a lot of sites. You can always tell a Shopify store because at the bottom it'll usually say powered by Shopify. Okay. So this is a nice looking store, lots of content. You know, there's only so much you can do with a given home page because you can only control so many things. Obviously, you can see up here the title tag for this site is, you know, Diggs presents houseware deals for every room. Okay, so depending upon what you're trying to rank it for, but your main site isn't going to be the biggest thing to rank. It's really going to be much more of doing something with a specific product like Tickle Monster or whatever this stovetop popcorn popper stainless steel thing is, or whatever that might be. So you're going to want to focus on individual products and ranking those. That's the much bigger shortcut for what you're trying to be able to do. This site is a site where you can get a rebate on closing costs for doing certain things. You know, first thing you notice is the title tag has errors in it. If you can see where it's really small, but it actually shows the href for the newsletter sign-up class in there and sign up for the newsletter in the title tag. That alone is killing whatever this is supposed to be about. The next question is, well, my closing cost rebate is the title of the site. I have no idea if anybody actually searches for that term or not. You know, down below you do talk about where you can get a rebate on home inspection costs or a rebate on home warranty costs or get an unlimited rebate. Okay, so I'm not sure how all those things work or whatever they are, but you need to pick your poison and pick something what you're specifically about in trying to rank this site that relates to what people would actually be searching for, unless the people coming already know that they should be looking for closing cost rebates. I don't know. So Clueless 101, welcome millennials. Here's where you can receive help. Okay, so far, none of this tells me anything about why I'm here. Okay, now, to be fair, that's because there's actually a book called Clueless 101 that's for sale on Amazon, or Amazon Prime members can read free, a life manual for millennials. So the title of the site is the title of the book, but that doesn't mean that you can't title this headline, okay, and subtitle Clueless 101 to be much more specific to why someone should pay attention, look at your site, read your site, consume something, get your free chapter, etc. Over here, you have something where I could read an excerpt and I could engage for free or whatever. I would make that much more obvious. The other thing is that depending upon why you're trying to get people to read this and what you're trying to do, one of the really common things for promoting a book like this on Amazon is to give somebody a bonus if they go and get the book. So you basically say, listen, if you go and get this book right now, I'll give you a free X, some PDF, video, downloadable thing. Just tell them, you know, shoot a copy of their receipt over to your support desk, help email, and you'll send them a link to get something for free, so it encourages them to go get it. Now, especially when you're letting Amazon Prime members read it for free, and there's like 100 million of us in America alone, then, you know, you should be tell them how to do that. Okay, this is a site called Getting Paid in Gold. Okay, I don't know what it means exactly yet, but not being paid in gold yet, discover how you can. This is the entire site. Obviously, for this site to rank, it needs a lot of work, like content, keywords that are related to what this is. You can see the title tag on this is home. Are you getting paid in gold? Home is like, unless you own home.com, is probably the worst possible word to use up there, because that's what all the site designers use. Okay, so you probably have a much better idea what you need to do after watching us do all these other sites. This is called A Healthy Diet for You. You can see, once again, notice how this title tag defaults to home-healthy diet. Okay, I have no idea whether or not this ranks for healthy diet, but if not, you might want a different keyword for this. You don't have to just use what's in the domain name. In terms of the landing page, this beautiful graphic at the top takes all of your homepage away. Okay, so anything you want anyone to see should be in this big spot at the top, and this designer, or however this got put together, clearly has taken over the top of the page. So exploring a healthy diet and lifestyle better be what you want, and if not, then you need to change what this is. Your newsletter sign up right here, like, you know, don't make it subtle if you want people to sign up for the newsletter. Be right in their face, give them something free, okay, get them to do it. And then you can see down below there are links to the blog, to the products, and this other stuff. But you know, you can do a much better job, as well as keyword related do a better job. Okay, thepetblogger.com, 7 signs your dog may be suffering from canine pancreatitis. That's one article. There is a home, but notice this was posted on September 5th. Already has 4 comments. So I think this is a woman, is already getting, you know, is getting traffic and feedback. But you see how this is the home page of the blog, and it's getting, and you, when you make a post on this blog, like this 7 signs, when you click on this, it actually has its own web page. See up here, symptoms canine pancreatitis, and the title tag is related to that. So that's a good job. And then what you want to do, obviously, is backlink the articles with links related to what it's specifically about, like herbs for cats or canine disease or whatever that might be. This is a site about earning money online. This is actually a blogger site. Okay, and so you can see this title, you know, how to make quick money, the 3 proven real ways to earn extra money. You know, this site was just started, so it's brand new. You can see he's posting. He's got an image. He's got, you know, directions on a link to click down here, and then he's got another post that he made the other day. Okay, and so is getting started. Your biggest thing is going to be to pick the keywords that you're trying to rank for, and make sure you're focused on keywords that you can compete for and go to good ranking for. Painting contractor sites. What's the most obvious thing you see on here is the very thing at the top of the page says About Us Painting Contractor in Irvine. Clearly the words About Us probably were there to start with, and whoever put in painting contractor in Irvine just added it. About Us needs to go, because then you would be focused on what your keyword is and being able to do that. And then you want to make sure that you're using Irvine, presumably Irvine, California, down below. This is a headline, is probably not the greatest headline for someone to come do business with you. I know people want to, you know, maybe like privately owned local companies, but it's probably not the headline. Think of it this way. Why would someone want to come hire your painting contractor, okay? And if the biggest thing you can say is that it's privately owned and operated painting contractor enterprise, then you should actually be in a different business, right? I mean, you can do much better in terms of why someone should come and do business with you. But if you go and look on Google for the term that this right now is ranking for, which is painting contractor in Irvine, you will see that even though one of our members is helping the site, just started working with this site, here we are on page 2, okay? And right at the bottom of page 2, this site is already ranking right here, okay? And that's a site that does not have Irvine is the keyword in the actual domain name, okay? It's not 100% optimized yet, doesn't have a lot of incoming links, but already by taking action, getting the site up, getting it indexed, okay, this site's already on page 2 of Google, and clearly can rise from there with some more work and some more things. So this is a good start already to doing this, and I think there's one more. Oh, this is another Shopify type store. If it's not actually, well, it's not Shopify. It's powered by Web Creation, Kino, something. But another e-commerce store, and same kind of idea. You know, number one, you're giving up, and this is a lot of e-commerce templates. You're giving up this whole top part of the site up here to pictures of horses, which is really cool if you're selling horses maybe, but you're not. And so one of the things you got to think about is what image do you want people to get if they come to your home page, and then obviously, you know, go into specific pages. You know, down here, this apparently is all custom made and everything else, and maybe this works, but is it more important on the homepage for people to see helpful tools, meet the team, and products versus featured products coming first that people might immediately come and buy? I don't know, because this is all custom made, so maybe this is really super cool and everyone wants to meet all the people before they give you money. But I would consider whether or not getting the products front and center would make a huge difference in the way this all converts. And so with all of that in the lightning round, Brian, I'm going to switch this back to you so you can give away money.
All right.
You're back.
And one thing, too, on top of that, that I'd say, too, on the painting one, what's really a good idea, and you'll see it from the example that you showed in the Google search, was one thing that all those sites had, essentially, in the title tag, except one example, they had the abbreviation of the state. Because in a lot of cases, there's multiple places around the world that might have the same name of the town or city. So, like, if it's like, Painters, Urban, California, or something like that, make sure to say that there instead of just the town or the city. And then also use the Google keyword tool, or not, or our tool that goes through essentially Google and all those places and actually looks for which ones are more competitive, which ones are harder to rank for, and just type in a bunch of terms like painter, urban CA, painter, urban California, painter in, yada yada, and just like a bunch of terms like that, and just see which ones are more or less competitive, and then try to optimize your title tags based upon that, or create like multiple different pages where each page is basically optimized for a different term like that. And on top of that, use a schema too, because I think you were lacking that as well right there. Then of course all the stuff that Shawn said. So what we'll do now for the cash giveaway right here, I'll give you maybe 10 more seconds to do a quick post. And then, and again, just do a comment right here basically under that post. Give you 10 seconds and I'll pick a winner. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Going to refresh. All right, so we have 34 here plus, down here, so 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So there's 45. And again, congrats to William right here. So he just signed up and has already increased his ranking. So that's real awesome there. You'll continue to improve that as well. So I said 45. Let's go to random.org right here. Go 1 to 45. Click generate. 31. All right, 31. So that would be 4 back on the main one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Mike. So Mike Ogorek, if that's you, you are $100 richer, or will be as soon as you provide us with your PayPal email. So if you just want to write that in the little chat box, Sharon will get you your $100. So again, Mike Ogorek, that is you. You are $100 richer. So with that, guys, let's see if there's any last-minute questions, and we can wrap up real quick. All right. And yes, guys, as always, there will be a replay available. We usually have this up within about a day's time. And yes, and again, each week we'll also do a cash giveaway. So again, make sure to go to getwebfire.com/FB group, and we'll approve you right away, and then again each week you'll have a chance to win some cash, as well as if there's any questions or stuff like that. We're very active in there as well. So with that, guys, I think we answered just about everyone right here. If by chance, oh, and Sharon, Mike just wrote with his PayPal email, so we see that, Mike, so thanks for that. We'll have Sharon send that over to you. And with that, guys, again, we want to thank you for joining us on this call. If you have any additional questions or if we accidentally again, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and special thanks to those. I see a lot of you that I'm guessing, Gary, you're probably in Aussie or someplace because it's saying it's 4 in the morning there. All right, so special thanks to those. There's a few of you that are saying it's like 4 or 6 in the morning. So special thanks to those who had to wake up super early or stay up super late. Hopefully you got some good value out of it. And as always, guys, any questions, just feel free to reach out to us, and we'll see you on next week's call. So take care, guys, and we'll talk to you later.